Monitoring Azure SQL database and alerting. So whenever we create a database and start using it in an application, it might be little difficult to upfront expect all the required load in the initial stages itself. As the user is using it, or rather the set of users are using the database, the load has to be monitored. We have to assess the performance, we have to assess the DTU's capabilities, how the CPU is being utilized. So many factors are going to come into picture for measuring the database performance by appropriately choosing the service tier for the database. So Azure gives us excellent tools where we can measure the performance of the database over a period of time. It can be probably 1 day, or it can be 1 week, or it can be past 1 month. We can customize that and monitor it. So for this, we have to actually go to our Azure portal, go to the database we want to monitor. Maybe I have one database which sometimes I make use of in my projects. So in this database here, we have got monitoring section. So in this monitoring section, you see there is a usage, some mild usage of this database is there. All these parameters which I am right now assessing, CPU percentage, DTU percentage, database size percentage, I have set them. Where did I set them? We can actually click on edit, and here we have the ability to choose whether we want bar chart or we want line chart. We can decide that. We want past 1 hour, we want today, past 1 week, or we can even specify the custom values. In addition to that, here we have the provision to choose the parameters we are interested. You see certain items here are disabled. The reason being I have checked percentage. If any one item with percentage is checked, all others also should be percent. Now you see I can choose any one. So if I say DTU limit, and all things will be, basically this measuring unit has to be fixed. That's the meaning of it. So yes, when we have the range selected, default is past 1 hour, and by default you will have here only DTU used. I have actually changed it to, let us say, today or maybe past 1 week, and then whatever I am interested in, DTU percentage, database or CPU percentage, and click on OK. I'll get the graph rendered accordingly here. Of course, this is too minor to do any kind of understanding, but one thing is for sure, I'm not even using more than 10% of my database capacity, whether it is CPU usage or DTU usage, DTU percentage, or even database size percentage. None of them is completely used. We can actually click on this graph and get more detailed metric. This is the metric graph. So here we can have the same graph as here, but here you can see the metric. What is the minimum value? What is the maximum value? And at the same time, we have the provision to create an alert. We can create an alert. So I can say add alert. Right now, because of non-usage, I do not have a lot of data. But yes, I can give an alert name, CPU alert or CPU DB alert. And here I have the provision of choosing the parameter. So let's say CPU percentage. If greater than, maybe I'll say 80% for a period of last 5 minutes. I can say email to all owners. Actually, all these owners, contributors, readers, we can assign to Active Directory. Right now, we are not even interested in that aspect. But yes, whoever is the owner of the database or contributor and reader roles who have been assigned, all of them are going to get the email alert. Of course, you can also mention some additional administrator email IDs. So when you click on this OK, an alert will get created over here. A beautiful feature where without doing anything, we are able to monitor the complete database parameters and accordingly decide if something is not up to the mark. That means if CPU utilization is going beyond a threshold, then probably we would want to go for changing the service tier, the pricing tier. From low, we have to go to probably the higher one, or if we are not using fully, we may probably lower the pricing tier. So the dynamic decision of changing the pricing tier has to be based on how we are monitoring our database and the parameters. So likewise, this is for monitoring the database. Likewise, even if you have elastic pool monitoring, what I did is here I have already created an elastic pool. Elastic pool. Same monitoring features we also have for elastic pool. So we have elastic pool monitoring. What is the resource utilization? If you want to edit this, here also you can click on edit. Beside the time range, chart, and the parameters you want to note. After that, here you see EDTU percentage. After that, maybe if you are done with this, click on this. You are then going to get resource utilization. This is elastic pool monitoring, resource utilization, and here you see the parameters again. And here also you have the provision of creating the alert. And what are the databases? Those things you can give here. Elastic database monitoring. All the databases, how they are performing will be listed here for different parameters. So you can click on this also, and database name, peak EDTU, average EDTU, all this you can observe for deciding whether a particular database is a good candidate to be part of this particular elastic pool or not. So monitoring though is a very important feature. Important thing to understand is all things are getting recorded by itself and we ourselves have to do nothing. Azure is doing all this recording for us and providing the complete information as per our need for deciding the appropriate pricing tier or ensuring that the database is part of a particular elastic pool or not, is good or not. We can decide based on these monitoring features.